Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm here again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about search result mastery and some tips that I use to get a better click-through rate and how to find the SERPs that actually are going to yield actual traffic for your website and what SERPs to avoid. So what we're going to cover today, the first thing that's really important, and I see it's often overlooked, is actually SERPs that you should be avoiding. So these are SERPs that may have, more SERP features, more ads, stuff like that, that makes your organic listings, harder to find. So I'm also going to talk about creating organic listings that people want to click on. So essentially some tips on optimizing your titles and your descriptions, not only to rank better, but to get a better click-through rate as well. I'm going to finish it up with finding featured snippet opportunities. So in another video, I'm going to talk about how to actually get those featured snippets, but today I'm just going to be talking about how to find those opportunities for your websites and how you can find some that your competitors are ranking for as well. All right, so avoiding the crowd, finding and avoiding those busy SERPs. So the first thing that you need to know about this is you always want to check mobile. So when you're doing your keyword research, you want to check desktop to see what the SERP looks like, but you also want to pull it up on mobile as well, because 9 times out of 10, the mobile is going to have more extraneous features that are going to push organic listings down. So these could be, multiple ad types. So maybe there's shopping ads and then text ads and then some other gobbledygook before you actually get to organic. These are going to be SERPs that have shopping comparison, videos in them if you don't do videos. And this is going to be more of an issue with review type posts. So XYZ product review or versus. So product A versus product B style posts. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean here. I'm going to give you a little example. So Blue Yeti microphone review. If you have a website about microphones, this could be a term that you're going to target. So you Google this term just to see what it looks like, and you see some videos and you see organic. So it looks pretty good. But this is why you want to look at it on mobile. I'm going to show you what this exact same term looks like on a mobile device. Okay, so same term, Blue Yeti microphone review. You're going to see some critic reviews, which may or may not be the #1 organic listing. Keep cruising. You're going to see some user reviews that is syndicated from Google. You're going to see interesting finds. People also ask, and then videos, and then you finally get to the organic listings. So sometimes when you're in those you can be in those interesting finds section and the critic review section if you're #1 organically, but it's not guaranteed. So this just means basically people have to scroll down 7 or 8 times on mobile before they get to the first true organic listing. And this is going to mean you might not get as much traffic as you think from that term. So it's not something to completely avoid, but something just to know when you're optimizing for that. So I'm going to show you another term as well, one of those versus terms, so that you can see what Google does here. Versus blue. All right, so for this term, you see Google has taken it upon themselves to get all of this information somewhere from the internet and make their own little chart for users to view. So let's say someone Googles this term, they see detailed comparison. Now you only got one potential organic listing, and again, it may or may not be the first one. But the user can basically get everything that they want from this little Google thing. And if they decide they want to buy, best case scenario, they want to buy the product, they may click on this Blue Yeti USB microphone and they're going to be taken to a completely different SERP. So this is something that you haven't optimized for maybe. So the person originally Googled that versus term, Google kind of led them through the sales cycle a little bit, and now Google has gotten them to click on a term that's completely different. So you've basically gotten shafted out of that traffic. So this is not something, again, to completely and utterly avoid, but just be realistic when you come across search results that have these sorts of things in them. Just know that it could have an impact on traffic. All right, now that we know some of those SERPs to avoid, I'm going to talk a little bit with you about how you can optimize for those good SERPs. So how you can make your titles and your descriptions the best they can possibly be for rankings and for click-through rate. So first things first, generally speaking, when you're optimizing your title tag, you want to front load your main keyword, but you should also be including other keywords in your title as well. So when you're doing your research, you're going to come across, some long tail keywords, some of which may be unique enough to be a standalone page, but some may be so similar to your main term that if you made a whole page about that, they may compete with each other. So what you can do is you can add those very, very similar terms into your title tag to optimize for multiple terms at once. And just it's been proven time and time again by using numbers and brackets in your title tag, it increases your click-through rate. And you want to avoid like old school clickbaity tactics, so stuff that may be like, creating a super sense of urgency, something that makes somebody want to click right now, or something terrible is going to happen. So what's going to happen if you use these sorts of tactics is people are going to click on your listing, and if your page doesn't give them exactly what your title indicated, they're going to jump off. So they're going to go to find somebody else's website. Not only are you not going to make any money off of this visitor, but because you've had a bunch of bounces, that could actually negatively impact your rankings as well. So instead of doing that, you want to just overall be accurate, concise, and enticing when you're creating your titles. And a good way to do that is also using dynamic date insertion. So this is going to make your titles look super fresh, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And then when you're making your meta descriptions, don't write them for Google, because Google doesn't actually read them in order to figure out where they should rank you. Instead, write them for the user in order to create intrigue to make them want to click on your listing. All right, so we have an example page here, and I'm going to show you how you can kind of clump all those tactics together to create a good title and description for your page. So this particular page is about best gift ideas for men. So let's say we did our keyword research and we found a couple of words, like maybe the word like birthday or holiday or something like that. Something that wasn't unique enough to warrant its own page, but we want to also optimize for that here. So let's say we reviewed 7 products. So 7 best gift ideas for men, any holiday. So again, throwing in those other terms that we found during research. You can use a bracket or a parentheses. So percent current month. With Yoast, it's going to be different with different plugins, but with Yoast specifically, if you use this command, it's going to auto change the month every time a new month happens, and you can do the same thing with year. All right, so now we have a title that includes numbers, it includes some extra keywords, it includes brackets or parentheses, and it also uses dynamic date insertion. So I'm going to show you what this title actually looks like. All right, so we got 7 best gift ideas for men, any holiday, February 2021. So because it's February 2021 when I'm filming this, that's what the month says. But if I were to film this in March or January or whatever the heck it is, it's going to change out February for whatever month and whatever year it is. So this is a good way to keep your titles looking fresh without having to keep up with it too much. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the descriptions now. So Google, like I said, doesn't actually read these when they're determining what your page is about, so you need to use your description not to appeal to Google, but to appeal to users. So something, an example for this page would be, if you were wondering what the best gift ideas are for the man in your life, check out these 7 awesome products. We found the best deals on ... So you see what I did here? The first part of the description, it reiterates what the page is about so that somebody knows that they're about to click on something, that they searched for. But the end, we found the best deals on ... The best deals on what? Like, people are going to be wondering what sort of product they can get a deal on because of the way that we wrote this meta description. And this isn't the only way that you can make your description enticing, but this is, you just gotta kind of get creative with it. So the last thing that I'm going to cover in this video is snippet sniping, and specifically how you can find those opportunities. Again, in another video, I'm going to show you how to actually get the snippets, but for today, we're going to talk about how you can find all those juicy opportunities. So the first step is going to be using a tool like Ahrefs and a filter to find your targets. And after you find your targets, you want to actually go to the SERP and confirm that there's a snippet, because sometimes Ahrefs may have outdated data or something like that. And then you can use search operators to see where you are in the queue to get that snippet. And these 3 steps are what I'm going to cover today. The rest, I'm going to give the information to you, but I'm not going to go into detail right now. I'm going to go into detail in another video. So what you would do after you figure out, the snippet exists and you're in the queue for it, you're going to identify the type of snippet. You're going to figure out what is actually triggering it. Do better. Re-index it, and then recheck and repeat until you actually get the snippet. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little over-the-shoulder look at how I would find opportunities. So this is a term that I was looking at earlier, and the first one that's ranking for it is podcastinsights.com. So we're going to use that as an example. Just pretend this is your website, and this is how you would go about finding the snippet sniping opportunities. So podcastinsights.com. You're gonna go ahead and throw this into the tool. And you can do this for your competitors as well. In this case, if this was your site, you would see what opportunities you have and you can act on right away. If this was a competitor, you can see all of the opportunities that exist essentially in the niche. So after you put them into the tool, you want to go over here to organic keywords. And you want to isolate only keywords that you're ranking in the top 5 positions for. Because once you get ranking, position 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it gets really, really hard to actually get the snippet. So we want to isolate only the terms that we're ranking quite well for. And over here in the SERP features section, we want to hit featured snippet. So this is going to show us all the terms that we're ranking well for and terms that have snippets. So if you go and you look over here, if it has this little quote icon, that means that the website that you put up in this section is actually in the snippet. If you don't have the quote icon, that means it's not. So this, in layman's terms, is just going to be a bunch of opportunities for snippets that you can get. So this first one that we see is how to make a podcast. So how to make a podcast, confirm that there is a snippet there, and Shopify has it. But if you look down, Podcast Insights is actually #1 organically, so there's a pretty good chance that you could get this. So if you want to see what the SERP would look like without Shopify, so you can see, are you 2nd, 3rd, 4th in line for the snippet, what you would do is you take your term and you add a minus. And then the domain you want to take out. So this is going to show you what the search results would look like if that page on Shopify didn't exist. So you can see in this case, Podcast Insights comes right up. So this means essentially they're #2 in line for the snippet. So with a little bit of optimization, they could absolutely steal the snippet from Shopify. All right, so key takeaways from this video. First thing that you need to know, not all SERPs are worth the effort. Some are going to have a lot more organic opportunities than others, especially SERPs that have those extraneous features that you can't get into. Make sure you're always checking on mobile because it's going to be even worse on mobile than it is on desktop. When you're optimizing your metadata, so your titles and your descriptions, you want to make sure that you're optimizing for clicks as well as rankings. So don't go overboard with those clickbait tactics, but make sure that you're relevant and enticing. You can use dynamic date insertion to automatically change out the date, use numbers and brackets, and create intrigue with your description. And then you also want to take time to find opportunities to rank in snippets so that down the road you can get a ton more organic traffic once you actually are able to get those snippets. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you guys got some good info out of this video, and thanks for watching.